Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Gross here. And for those of you that don't know me, I am the Algebra 2, Honors Algebra 2, and AP Calculus teacher here at Saddlebrook High School. So, what I wanted to do for you today is present to you all of the different options that you have as far as taking math electives as you move forward in your high school career. Okay, so first of all, recognize that all of you have to complete Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2 as graduation requirements. However, what I'm going to do is present you all the different options you have once you complete Algebra 2, so that you can make the best and most informed decision as to which classes you would like to take and have the possibility of taking as you move forward. Okay, so the way this presentation is going to work is I'm first going to show you all of the different paths that you have depending on what grade level and what class you are currently in. And then once you see all of the pathways, you're then going to get a short presentation of what each individual class has to offer. Okay, so again, make sure that you're paying attention, take notes if you'd like, and again, just so you can make the best possible decision for what makes sense for you. Okay, so we're going to start here with if you are a junior that's currently in Algebra 2. Okay, so as you can see here, your options for your senior year include 4 different classes. You can take Consumers and Careers, which is an applications-based math class, all about real-world application, and that's actually a new course that we're offering for the first time next year. You have an option of taking discrete math, which is a non-traditional sort of math class that really doesn't focus on algebra topics, which you're sort of used to been doing for most of what you've done in high school math. So that's a little bit non-traditional pathway for you. The next option is pre-calculus, which is an algebra-based class that follows along with the curriculum from Algebra 2, continues in preparing you for more upper level math, including math that you would take in college, and of course calculus as well. And then your final option is also to take AP Statistics. Okay, so that course is available to anyone that has completed Algebra 2 with a specific grade, of course. And that's everything about data analysis, right? Organizing, collecting, and analyzing data. So those are your options for your senior year if you're currently in Algebra 2. And also notice how some of these classes, can be taken together, right? For example, you can take discrete math and pre-calculus at the same time. You can take pre-calculus and AP statistics at the same time. But that's definitely, for those of you that are interested in taking more than one math class in a single year. I know I would be interested in doing that, but again, that's for you to decide. If you are currently a junior in honors algebra 2, okay, you also have similar options, okay, which include the consumers and careers course, which is an applications based math class, as mentioned before, as well as discrete math. But you also have options for taking the honors classes. Okay, so you can take the honors level pre-calculus, which covers the same material as regular pre-calculus, but goes a little bit more in depth, and of course a little bit faster paced. And of course, you have the option to take AP statistics as well, which can be taken at the same time as honors pre-calculus. Okay, so very similar pathways with if you're in honors or regular algebra 2 during your junior year. Now, if you are a sophomore, okay, you can see, the next 2-year progression, depending on which class you're currently in. So if you are currently a sophomore in Algebra 2, okay, recognize the options that you have your junior year, and then how each of those pathways can lead to a different path your senior year. Okay, so from Algebra 2, you have options your junior year of taking either pre-calculus or AP statistics, or the option of taking both at the same time. Okay. And then once you take either or both of those classes your junior year, if you'd like to continue with the 4th year of math, again, you have the 4 options that I explained before. Okay. You have your AP statistics, your pre calculus. Those are more algebra based and driven classes. And then you have your consumers and careers, which is our application, real world application based class. And then your discrete math option, which is the non traditional route. Okay. So again, notice, which class you're in now, which class you would take your junior year, and then from that branch, what options you have for your senior year. If you are a sophomore that's currently in Honors Algebra 2, okay, again, the pathways are very similar, but the only difference is now you have an option of taking Honors and AP, okay? So if you are a sophomore in Honors Algebra 2, the really big difference here is that you are currently on the pathway of taking AP Calculus. Okay, so your junior year, if you're currently in Honors Algebra 2, you would progress into Honors Pre-Calculus, which is a prerequisite for then taking AP Calculus your senior year. Okay, so you still have the options of taking AP Statistics as well. What you'll often see a lot of juniors do is double up with Honors Pre-Calc and AP Statistics their junior year. So this way, their senior year, they're only taking one AP Math class if you're interested. Okay, it is possible, and some seniors are doing it right now, where you can take Honors Pre-Calculus your junior year and still have the option of taking both AP Calculus and AP Statistics. Okay, but these again are your pathways and your different options depending on where you are currently in this progression. Okay, now if you are a sophomore that's in geometry, you would anticipate taking Algebra 2 your junior year, which would put you on one of these two paths. Okay, so these are all of your different options for where you can go depending on where you are right now. What you are going to see now, the rest of this presentation, is going to be a little bit more of an in-depth look into each of these individual classes, what they have to offer for you, why you should or shouldn't take them, what the prerequisites are, etc. Okay, so without further ado, enjoy the rest of this presentation.
Hi, everyone. It's Ms. Matsakis. I'm here to talk to you about pre-calculus. I'm going to just go through the slides, so if you can follow along, and then I'm going to add to it as we go. Pre-calculus is a college-level course, and it reviews topics from Algebra 2. It introduces trigonometry, which you've seen a little bit of in geometry and in Algebra 2, and it dives deeper into the algebra. I always say the first week of school that pre-calculus is like Algebra 2 on steroids. So if you are not a strong algebra student, this is not the place for you. Why should you take it? Well, it can increase your standardized test score on the SAT and the ACT, and it can help you perform better on placement tests for college. That is two reasons that you should take it. If you are going into a science or a math or a business, chances are that you will need to take pre-calculus in college. So this is a good place for you to at least get a feel for it, to make sure that that is the path you want to go down. And it also would give you, regular CP would give you an opportunity to experience and see some of the topics before you get there, as would honors. How hard is it? It's a college course. This is not a high school course. So the expectations are a little bit higher than a required math course. You're going to need to call upon some knowledge that you've learned in algebra and Algebra 2. There is a lot of knowledge that you're expected to know before you get to this class. If you are struggling with it, the teacher will most likely, and if not, I will, help you out, but you may need to come and put in some extra time after school or during lunch. We cover a new topic just about every day. Sometimes, especially with the pandemic, we've been taking a week on a few topics that are a little harder. And there are some topics throughout the course that we do take a little bit of extra time on, because we want to make sure that you have a strong foundation before you move on to a college pre-calc class, or if you're in honors pre-calculus, before you move on to calculus. There is homework on a regular basis. You should expect homework every single day. The honors course load is a lot heavier than the regular course load. Maybe not a lot, but it is heavier than the regular course load. Who can sign up? Anyone who's completed Algebra 2 can sign up for pre-calculus. It is recommended that you have a C or better for CP. A B or better would be better for you. But for honors, you must have at least a B in honors Algebra 2, and you have to have a teacher recommendation. But for CP, which is college prep, anyone can sign up for that. If you have any further questions about pre-calculus, feel free to reach out to me or Mr. Roselli. Either one of us can answer your questions. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Mr. Gross here again. And what I'm going to do for you now is give you a little bit more in-depth look into what AP Calculus AB is all about, and hopefully answer any questions that you might have as far as, is this a class that, is meant for you or that you're willing to take? Okay, so first of all, what is AP Calculus? So AP Calculus is really just an extension and a continuation of all of the things that you either have learned or will learn in your track through algebra, right? So you've all taken Algebra 1, you might be in Algebra 2 now or taking Algebra 2 next year. You would then progress into pre-calculus and eventually get into calculus. So it's really just a continuation of this algebra-based, theory-based mathematics course, okay? And it's really all about the mathematics of change. Okay. Why do things change? How do things change? How can we predict future change? And really start to understand how mathematics controls the world around us. Okay. So, if you're thinking about, is this the class for you? I think one of the most important questions you really need to ask yourself and be honest with, is, do you love math? Okay. Is math a passion of yours? Is this something, is math something that you want to continue on to take in college? Is it something that your future career path might be involved in? If the answer is yes, then this is a class that you really want to consider taking. Okay. It is an AP class, okay, which means it's a college level class and will require a lot of hard work and a lot of effort. But that effort is going to pay off in the end. Okay. It's a challenge, okay? As any, AP class is, it is definitely going to be a challenge. I'm going to require you to think a lot in this class. I'm going to require you to apply yourself. It is going to require a lot of intrinsic motivation, meaning coming from within. You'll be given a lot of independent work where you'll be expected to complete things. It's on your own. It's not going to be something, where I'm going to constantly baby you or ask you to get things done. And for those of you that have had me as a teacher before, this is things that I expect from any of my students. Okay. So it's definitely a class where you need to be willing to embrace the challenge. Okay. Because it is a challenge, but it's a challenge that hopefully you are willing to take on. So, as I mentioned before, it really just explores concepts that are previously covered in both Algebra 2 and pre-calculus. Two of the main pillars of mathematics that are involved in calculus are called taking a derivative, derivation, and then taking an integral, integration. Okay, so we're going to see how these two, super important main ideas in algebra come together. Okay, in this idea in this class called calculus. All right, so as I mentioned, and as you can see, it's an AP class, which means there is an AP exam in May. And our job for this course is to prepare you to take the AP exam, to have as much possible calculus knowledge so that when you take the AP exam, you're more than enough prepared and you can pass that exam. And the nice thing about an AP class is that if you pass the AP exam, you can earn college credit for that class. Okay. So the final thing is, who is eligible to sign up for this class? So, of course, you need to have completed pre-calculus as a prerequisite. With a B if you're in the honors level or an A if you're in the college prep level. And you also have to have a teacher recommendation. All right. So hopefully this helps you give you a little bit better idea of what AP Calculus AB is all about. So thank you for watching, everybody, and you'll now continue on to learn about the rest of the math electives that we have to offer here at Saddlebrook High School.
Hi there, everybody. I'm here to talk to you about AP statistics. I'm pretty much going to go through the slides, so I'll just elaborate a little bit. So if you can just follow along. AP statistics is a college level math course. It's an intro to statistics, and you're going to learn how to collect, organize, analyze, and interpret data. There's a lot of work there, and it is taught to you in steps, and then you have to recall chapter 1. We're in chapter 8, and we're recalling chapter 1 because we have to do those same steps over again. We're just applying it to a more difficult topic. Why should you take it? Statistics is used by more people than any other branch of mathematics that there is. This applies to just about any job that you could have. How hard is AP Stats? Well, it is college level, so you should expect a high level of expectation from the teacher. You're going to need to think really long and hard about, actually, maybe not long, but because you might have to not have time, but you're going to have to think hard about certain topics and concepts. You're going to do a lot of writing. As a math teacher, that's the hardest part for me, is the writing concept or the writing component. You have to word things in a certain way in order to be able to get credit on the AP exam. And you don't get a credit for just showing up here. You have to be willing to work and work hard. The next one, class, is nearly every day we cover something new, and we rarely go over homework in class. That is true. Not just because of the pandemic, but because there is not time to go through every single question that you might have. So you need to be willing to put in some extra time, seek out the teacher to get some extra help. Um, when we are in class, we do some activities. A lot of them are video activities. Some of them are Desmos activities. Some of them are live activities. But most of the activities do involve food or dice or technology or cards. But unfortunately, with the pandemic, we've not been able to do all of those. But hopefully next year we are back to somewhat normal. And even if we're sneaking M&Ms under our mask, that would be better than not at all. Do you have to be a top rate mathematician? No. It does not depend heavily on any concepts that you've learned in algebra or geometry. It's just that you have to be able to think and put your words together and be specific and be clear on your intention. Our calculator does do most of the work for us, but you do have to write down the work in a certain way when you use the calculator, or else on the AP exam, you will not get credit for that work. And work is required on the AP exam. Who can sign up? Well, you definitely have to have a strong background in Algebra 2, regular or honors. You need to have A's or B's, A's in regular, B's in honors, and be a strong English student or a good writer. You'll have to have a recommendation from your English teacher as well. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me.
Applied Mathematics Careers and Consumers is a new mathematics course that will be offered to upper level high school students in the academic year 2021 to 2022. This fourth year mathematics course is more of applying concepts found in your traditional math classes, such as Algebra 1, Geometry, even Math 8. So, why should I take it? Well, have you ever often sat in a class or at home doing math problems and thought to yourself, when am I ever going to use the concepts and the theory found in Algebra 1 or Geometry or even Math 8? Well, then maybe this course is for you. In this class, students will revisit the concepts found in their traditional math classes, and they're going to read, review, and analyze real world scenarios found in everyday life, as well as found in certain professional careers that are heavily math based. So, what will the class be like? Well, again, we'll be exploring concepts not only in basic math, algebra, and geometry, but we're going to see them in a different perspective. We'll look at professions and areas of business, engineering, taxes, building trades and construction, even nutrition, and some other encounters that most modern people find themselves in when dealing with math. Do you have to be a top rate mathematician? Absolutely not. This is not an advanced placement course. It will revisit scenarios and concepts and traditional math problems that are often found and that you probably have seen before in your prior math classes. But in this instance, we're going to see them in more realistic settings. We're going to show you how to solve them and how to utilize them to optimize daily living, and also to get a little insight into the professions that use math. Who can sign up? Any upper level classman who has achieved at least a B or better in financial literacy, algebra 1, geometry, and English.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Miss Matsakis. I'm here to discuss with you discrete mathematics, or discrete math, as the slide says. And I'm just going to go right through the slide, and I'm going to add to it as we go. What is discrete math? Well, it is college-level course that investigates topics that you don't usually see in algebra or geometry class. And we go through election theory, fair division, applications of matrices, and graph theory. Those are the main topics. This is a course that if you are going to college and you are not a math or science or a business major, this might be the course that you'd have to take when you are in college as your math requirement. Those students who have had me in this class, they know that my daughter actually had this course when she was in college. They covered a few extra things than what we covered, but it's pretty much the same class. That's one reason that you should take it, which is the next question. If you are not going to school for business, math major, or a science major, this might prep you for your general requirement that you would need to graduate from college. This class also introduces you to some non-traditional topics that are applicable in different jobs, including those bio and science majors and economic majors. Some of the things that we do in here you will see in those classes, but you'll be going into much further depth than we do in this course. How hard is it? Well, it is a college level course. And you cannot, it's like an AP class, you cannot just show up and expect to get a good grade. You do have to come, you do have to do work. But if you are honestly putting your effort into it, all that you've got, you will do fine. General rule of thumb, if you're doing the minimum on homework, meaning the required minimum, not what you think the minimum is, and you are not doing so great on your quizzes and tests, but you do everything that's asked, you usually get out of this class with a C. Okay, but active participation and completing homework is a must in order for that to happen. What's class like? We cover a new topic every week to 2 weeks. So we'll be on section like 3.2 for maybe a week to 2 weeks. And because some of the problems are time consuming, we try to get some extra time. You might do a total of maybe 10 or 12 problems for a whole week based upon how difficult the items are. If it's something easy, you might do 20 or 25 or even 30 problems. But sometimes we have formulas that we have to follow. And the hardest part isn't actually doing the work, it's showing the work, because your calculator is going to do most of it for you. We do a lot of group work when we're together. We brainstorm ideas when we're together, and we usually work together to do these activities together as a group. So you might be put in small groups to do it. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, we've not been able to do that this year. Do you have to be a top-rate mathematician? No. You just have to be willing to work hard and ask questions and not say, I don't get it, or I don't know what to do. If those are your questions or your comments, then it's time to start asking. That's one of the skills that you're going to need when you go to college anyway. So it's better to learn in high school, not to be afraid to ask for help when you're struggling with a subject. And who can sign up? Anyone who has completed Algebra 2 can sign up. You do not need a teacher recommendation to take this course. All you have to do is want to be here and want to do the work. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll gladly answer them.